to win the NBA title, according to Bovada, despite Houston having a 6-game lead in the West. Steph Curry is already out for the first round of the playoffs, and Golden State has lost 7 of its last 12. Meanwhile, the Rockets have only lost 2 games since February, but Mike D'Antoni, Chris Paul, and James Harden all have a history of early exits in the playoffs. We're joined once again by Ice Cube and Clyde Drexler. Clyde, you call games for the Rockets. How convinced are you that Houston can win the title?
I'm totally convinced because they got the best record in the entire league. So you've proven to me that you're very good. Now, playoff success. James Harden, Chris Paul, Mike D'Antoni, all have come up short. They've got a lot to prove, which means they're motivated. The Warriors, well, they got a couple championships and they're good. They're really good, but they're not as motivated as the Rockets are. So that's why I think the Rockets have the edge.
I think, go ahead, Skip.
You know, it's funny you bring this up because all year long, and I mean long, from the start of this season, all we have talked about on this show, and both of us agree, because the world agrees, Houston, show me something in the postseason, because James Harden disappeared in Game 6, the closeout game against the Spurs in Houston. That was pretty sorry. And I'm not sure a lot of Houstonians have gotten over that. But James is going to be the MVP of this league, even though he doesn't agree with that. But we'll get to that in a second. But the point, you can't, it's crazy. But the point is, we've talked about so much how James has come up small in the postseason. Chris Paul has had his issues in the postseason. And certainly Coach D'Antoni has had his issues in the postseason. But we've talked about it so much that sometimes it's like, LeVar Ball says you can speak something into existence. You can also speak it out of existence because you talk about it so much until those guys finally say, you know what, we're sick of this. So that's what the shot I give you is it's over-talked until they finally say, okay, it's our turn to show you. That's all I got.
Got to put up or shut up.
Yep.
And James Harden, Shannon, is the undisputed MVP of the league this year.
He knows that.
Undisputed.
No. I mean, you got a Hall of Fame. I mean, they lost Kyrie. Kevin Love missed 6 weeks. Tristan Thompson's been out 2 months. And LeBron is they're still on pace to have the same record, minus Kyrie, that they had last year. But here's the thing. And Bovada said their co-favorite, the Warriors. Healthy? If Steph Curry is healthy, I don't see the Rockets coming out of the West. I'm sorry, Clyde. I just don't see that.
Well, they are the only team that can score with the Warriors.
Yes, they can.
And Chris Paul and James match up in the backcourt with Steph and Klay Thompson as well as anyone.
What you going to do with that 7-foot monster, though?
Well, Durant, he's a beast. He's a beast. But the Rockets have defensive players like P.J. Tucker, Trevor Ariza, Clint Capella. Those guys are really good role players. Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon. They've got a plethora of guys that can come in and get it done.
Can y'all sign LeBron?
LeBron, everyone wants LeBron.
You're not skip everybody.
LeBron could be MVP every year, guys.
MVP every year.
This year.
He's that good.
James Harden has been that good. Now, again, do I have my doubts in the postseason? I do. But sometimes things just break right, and I don't know if Steph's going to be right in these playoffs. I just don't know. And if he's not right, if he doesn't come back, remember that year he hurt himself in the first round?
Yep.
Then second round was a little shaky. Never quite got back.
They lost
on
46.
schedule.
What do you think about that?
If it's not a even matchup, I mean, if both teams are not healthy, then how could we just give it to the Rockets? You know what I'm saying? As far as I think both teams healthy. No way the Rockets could beat Golden State.
The war of attrition. Have you ever heard this? Never underestimate the heart of a champion. These guys are motivated. They're good.
That's what you was on the team. You would have kept alive.
Wait, that was
Rudy Tomjanovich, right? But the Rockets are ready. They're motivated, and this is their year, guys. I'm telling you.
Do you see anything different on defense? Because I do see them play a semblance of defense that I have not seen before from a D'Antoni team.
Absolutely. With P.J. Tucker starting at the power forward, Trevor Ariza, Clint Capella, that's their forte. And Chris Paul has been an all-defensive performer 7 or 8 years. And James Harden is good in the post defensively. So this is a team that can score, but they can also defend. And they have great chemistry. Look out.
Clyde's got the face.
Somebody must be on the Rockets payroll.
I'm not biased.
Not at all. All morning we're revealing the Big 3 draft order. The draft is next Thursday here on FS1. So let's go back to the wall. The 6th pick went to Ghost Ballers. The 5th pick went to Tri-State. And the 4th pick in the 2018 Big 3 draft goes to Power. Cube, tell us about them.
Power, great team, used to be coached by my man Clyde Drexler. But now we have Nancy Lieberman, which is great because first female coach of a pro team, you know, head coach, so to speak. So congratulations to her. But they got a great squad. Corey Maggetti's coming back. He was injured last year. They got Big Baby Davis and Katino Mobley. So I think bigs, point guards is what they should be really looking for out of this draft.
All right, let's go back to the wall. The 3rd pick in the 2018 Big 3 draft goes to the Killer Threes. Cube, tell us about them.
Oh, yeah, Killer Threes. You know, they had a very disappointing season last year.
To say the least.
You know, people had picked them to be the favorites to win the whole thing. But I think Chauncey and Steven Jackson are motivated. They've added Meta World Peace, who's going to play under Ron Artest. So you got Steven Jackson and Ron Artest back together. You know what I mean? You know, watch out, Detroit.
And they're coached by Charles Oakley?
Yeah. So
they're going to be good.
I think, you know, if they get size, you know, they still need to battle in the paint because, you know, Al Harrington is out there. You know, you got the three-headed monsters. They're big in the paint. So size, wing player, maybe a point guard, and they'll do what they're supposed to do.
So back to Power. Nancy Lieberman, a longtime friend of mine. How did it come to be that you connected with her to be the head coach of this team?
Well, she came out last year. She was assistant coach with Rick Barry. She loved the Big 3. And when Clyde became the commissioner and we was looking for the right coach to you know, you can't replace a Hall of Famer, but with another Hall of Famer. So we just felt like, you know, we're a league that's into diversity. You know, we have Amy Trask as our board of directors who used to run the Raiders.
She did.
And to me, it was only right for a league like us who claim that we're changing the game to take this step, hire Nancy, show the world that, you know, it's about time, it's past time, and we just needed to get over this hump. And, you know, hopefully we'll have more Nancy Lieberman's takeover teams out there.
And Clyde, what about this Ron Artest, Steven Jackson
mix
reunited? What's going to happen?
Flammable.
Volatile? Yeah.
Flammable, the key word. Yeah. But that's what the Big 3 is all about. These guys have to get together and work it out. And their team is going to be very competitive. Chauncey Billups, Steven Jackson, I mean, Meta World Peace, who's playing under Artest.
They're going to be physical. I don't know many baskets.
We going to Detroit this year. So,
wow.
You know, so it's going to be pretty cool.
They need a big man.
Guys back.
Yeah. We have Steven on the show regularly, and I got to tell you, he could play in the NBA right now. He is in superb shape, and his mindset is that he's still auditioning to get back in the league.
Can you foul out in these games, Q?
No, you cannot foul out.
Oh, they're gonna get about 25 fouls.
But fouls, you know, if you get more than 5, it starts to get very severe.
Yeah.
You get a shot and the ball. So
okay.
It starts to get severe. But, you know, you said that, you know, making it back to the NBA. We want to give a shout out to Xavier Silas, who was in the Big 3. Yeah. Now he's with the Celtics. They gave him a 10-day contract. So he actually did make it back to the NBA through the Big 3. So that does a lot for our league.
It does.
As far as, you know, showing people that, you know, you can, you know, get back to the NBA through the Big 3 if you choose to.
Did you see many scouts last year? Because I think you'll see more and more this year.
We saw a few, but like you said, I believe we'll see more this year. I know they're at home watching the game. So, you know, instead of going overseas, the best thing to do is come play with the Big 3.
Yeah. And now it's live on FS1 too. We'll reveal the top 2 picks in the draft in just a few minutes. But coming up, is LeBron about to pass Jordan as the GOAT? We'll discuss that next.